Thank you so much, Johanna. This spiritual, welcome everyone. I hope everyone's doing great out there. If you're new to us, we are talking about a different spiritual law or principle every week in an attempt to live a life as best we can of love, joy, peace, success, really the best possible life, whatever that is, for me, and the best possible life for you. And so each week we walk through a different principle, and over the last 30 years I've used these principles with my clients to help them transform their lives, a lot of times from illness and disease to health, and they didn't do anything else except change these principles, and all of a sudden their cancer's gone, their diabetes is gone, whatever. To repair relationships that seemed non-repairable, etc. And these principles tend to be counterintuitive and paradoxical. Whether you're talking about psychologists or teachers or professors or even preachers, these principles tend to be more the opposite of what most of them teach rather than what they teach. And so in my experience, probably 9 out of 10 people, their life is being held back by violating one or more of these spiritual laws, and very often they don't even know it. They think they're doing what they should be doing, just like I was in my late 20s when everything in my life crashed. So this week we're talking about you always do what you believe. Now that may sound very basic. It may sound, oh good grief, this is first grade stuff. Well, wait a minute. No, it's not. Because this is the principle that when I realized, okay, I'm going to have to share you always do what you believe with this client, I kind of cringed a little bit, because this is the one out of all of them, and there's more than 100, that would cause my client to get mad at me. A couple of times yelling and screaming at me. Thank goodness it was only a couple. But a lot of them, probably 50% of the time, once I explained this, would get a little bit irritated at me. Why? Because when I say you always do what you believe, I mean 100%, no exceptions. Okay, so what's the big deal about that? Well, it means that if you're having an affair, that you believe you should be having that affair. Well, you can imagine how that went over when the client was coming in to see me because they were having an affair and it was destroying their life, and they absolutely did not want to be having the affair. Or someone was trying to lose weight and become healthier, and every day they kept eating what they knew they shouldn't eat, not exercising, and they would say, how come I can't do what I believe is best for me? And my response is, because you got another belief that being overweight is best for you, or you have another belief that having the affair is the best thing for you to do. And at that point, that's when the fireworks started. Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind? That's why I'm here paying you all this money, is because that's not what I believe. That's not what I want to be doing, but I can't seem to stop doing it. Well, that's nothing new. As Solomon said over 3,000 years ago, very famously, there is nothing new under the sun. And I think he was talking specifically about these spiritual life issues and spiritual life laws. Okay? So here's the deal. You cannot do anything unless you have a belief that you should do it. It's impossible. It's 100%. Now, here's the catch. Here's the secret. Okay? We very often have multiple different beliefs about the same thing. That we should do it, that we shouldn't do it, that we should do it, that we should do it under these conditions, but not under those conditions. etc., etc., etc. Okay? So if you have a belief, if you have a behavior or a thought pattern that you keep going through in your life that is not leading to your best life, but keeping you from your best life, you've just diagnosed yourself. You have a wrong belief. You have a belief that has a lie in it. And the lie would be, oh, it's better for you to be overweight and go ahead and eat things you shouldn't eat. It's better for you not to exercise. It's better for you to have the affair. It's better for you to do internet porn. It's better for you to keep taking the opium even though you don't need it. It's better for you to be angry and irritable and mean. Those are wrong beliefs. Every one of them is a lie. But we have those lies in us, in our programming, and that's why we keep doing self-destructive behavior, self-sabotaging behavior. So any behavior that you do that you believe is not in your best interest, you have a wrong belief about that. Somewhere that you probably in your unconscious. For things that you believe you should be doing that you're not doing, you have a wrong belief about that. And you will never be able to do it or stop doing it until you change, heal, fix, transform that wrong belief. So I would pray about that. I would make that recommitment to love in the present moment no matter what. Maybe use some of our tools that we've been helping people with for 20 years. Very often trilogy or memory engineering or rapid eye stress release can help people deprogram some of those wrong beliefs in minutes or days or weeks. Months is usually a pretty long time for it to take. So, get out some of those tools, use them, but realize half the battle is just realizing the principle. I have a belief that I should be overweight, that it's better for me to be overweight. And you need to start standing up to that, coming against it, not just with your willpower. Ask for your heart to participate with you, to give you the truthful thoughts, the truthful feelings, and the actions that are in harmony with your best belief about that issue. Even if you have several others, including a couple that are not only not the best, they're out and out lies that are going to destroy that part of your life. And so you can't just keep going along with it. You have to sort of take it captive. And in a couple of weeks, I'm going to be sharing another thing you can use that works better than anything I've ever seen to fix this issue that is the simplest thing you've ever heard. So look forward to that in a couple of weeks. But for now, use some of those tools and start standing up to that and saying, no, that is a lie. That is a wrong belief, and I'm not going to participate with that anymore. And heart, please help me. God, help me. Change that belief. Change that thought. Change that feeling, even if it comes from hundreds of years ago in my ancestry. So you always do what you believe. So the things in your life that you're not doing the way you want to, you have a wrong belief, a lie about that. Write it down on paper. You may have a bunch of them. Start keeping a list and come against those. Start standing up to those. No, this is not who I am. This is not what I believe is best, and I want that belief changed. I ask that it be changed to this, the best true belief about that thing. And no one I've ever met, by the way, doesn't have a bunch of these. So don't think you're unusual. This is very, very common. And most people never get free of those things. They try to do it by willpower alone, and that just almost never works against your unconscious that's a million times more powerful, and usually hundreds of years, maybe even sometimes millennia, of programming for that wrong belief. So that's it for me, Johanna.